Hello, comrades and accomplices. I know it's been a while because grad school and international travel take up a lot of time. Plus, my computer was messed up again, even though there were several topics I wanted to make videos on, especially this one. Some of you may remember that a while back I talked about a compilation album put together by Psychic Eye Records, an indie record label from Oakland, California that specializes in goth, shoegaze, and experimental music. They have helped put out general albums by individual artists, as well as compilation albums such as Altar of Shadows, which I previously discussed here. I am sure that most of you are aware of the atrocities that have been going on in Gaza for the past several months, and honestly years, but the events of the past months are what catalyzed the creation of this album. The people at Psychic Eye Records have put out a lot of work that benefits causes, and they decided to put out this album, The Ancient Wall. According to the Bandcamp page, the title of this compilation album comes from the poem In Jerusalem by Mahmoud Darwish. This album came out back in February of 2024, depending on when you watch this. But the causes it is supporting are unfortunately still necessary ones. The two organizations that the proceeds for this album go to are the Middle Eastern Children's Alliance, that being a Berkeley-based nonprofit that, as per their website, works with the rights and well-being of children in the Middle East, and the Rogers and Rosewater organization, which provides meals to the food insecure in Oakland, both being refugee-run organizations. As for the music, this album is 50 songs long, 2 discs if you bought a physical copy like I did, all by different bands. It has bands from all over, and I don't just mean the United States, where this record label is based. Most of them are from the US, but we've also got bands from Italy, India, Japan, the Netherlands, and Chile. Hence why I'm able to talk about it here. Yay, Chileans and their support for Palestine. Also, among the US-based bands, we have some Spanish-language bands, so yay. The bands represented on this album are pretty typical of the bands you see represented by Psychic Eye Records, that being mostly some variety of dark alternative. I would say most of it leans darkwave, though there is some shoegaze, industrial, death rock, and even some general experimental music that can't be put into a specific genre category yet. Because of the length, I do not think it was necessarily meant to be listened to all the way through in one sitting, especially if you have to get up and change the seat. But putting this together was more about the albums wanting to support the causes more than anything. Sound-wise, not every song is to my personal taste, but it all goes together well enough that there was nothing jarringly distracting from the rest of it. As far as I can tell, most, if not all of the songs were songs that the artists had already released either as singles or on other albums, so none of them appear to have been written explicitly for this album. Heck, a few of the songs aren't what I would consider thematically super serious or political, which is fine. It's nice to know that even artists who might sing about topics other than that can still care about the serious issues in the world. If nothing else, this album serves as a nice list of goth and goth-adjacent artists who you know support Palestine. As an addendum, that is not to say that any goth and goth-adjacent artists not featured on this album don't, as I have seen plenty of artists who are not on this compilation post in support of Palestine. But this is a good starter list. At least, a starter list of 50 bands. So that was The Ancient Wall. Please, if you can and want to, buy this album linked in the description down below. It is such an important cause. If you don't want this album, which I don't get because I think it is just so cool, I do have links to the organizations that this album is supporting listed down in the description below. You can also donate something to one of the many families in Gaza trying to get support. If you follow me on Blue Sky, you know that I repost GoFundMes of such families pretty regularly, but if you're not on Blue Sky, there's plenty of other places where you can go to find them. If I were a big YouTuber, I'd say all the proceeds of this video go to UNRWA or something like that. But as someone who never cracks even 1,000 views and doesn't have any sponsors, obviously, I make zero money off of these videos, so obviously that's not an option. So the best I can do with my channel is raise awareness. If you don't have any spare money, just do what you can. Go to a protest, write to your local politicians wherever you are in the world. Signal boost GoFundMes. Until next time, Free Palestine.